What's up YouTube, it's a Synth Tech Ninja back at it again with another video. So JBL has announced 6 new speakers at CES 2022, including the JBL Boombox 3, my favorite boombox successor, JBL Pulse 5, JBL Partybox Encore, JBL Partybox Encore Essential, and the JBL Win 3 and Win 3 Lite. So I'll be giving y'all my thoughts and opinions, specs, prices, release dates, and that kind of stuff. Without further ado, let's get on to the video. Let's start off with the JBL Boombox 3. At first glance, the Boombox 3 just looks like a gigantic Charge 5 with a handle on top. But you know, the more I look at it, the more I should like it. You what? Going on to the specs. The Boombox 3 has Bluetooth 5.3, get it? Boombox 3, Bluetooth 5.3, which is a upgrade over the Boombox 2 Bluetooth 5.1. But the thing is that I'm already getting over 100 feet in range. Like I can cross the street into someone else's yard and still be getting a seamless connection. So the only thing that needs to be improved is the audio codecs, because anything beats SBC. Going on to the speaker setup is where the interesting things happen. The Boombox 3 has 2 woofers, 1 racetrack subwoofer, and 2 tweeters and 2 passive radiators. So the Boombox 2 has 2 passive radiators, 2 tweeters, 2 passive radiators. But the Boombox 3 with this actual like either a mid-range driver or subwoofer is going to sound much better than the Boombox 2. Supposedly. JBL promises deeper bass and intense clarity, which sounds like it might hurt my ears a little bit, intense clarity. It has the same advertised battery life as the Boombox 2, which is 24 hours. So we're going to have to do some real-world testing to see how close can I get to that number. The Boombox 3 will be released in the summer of 2022 at the retail price of $500, which was the launch price and current price of the Boombox 2. This sounds high, but if this is the case with this sound upgrade, it might actually be worth it. And let's see how will it do against the Sony. All right, so on to the next. On to the JBL Pulse 5, my second most favorite speaker announced at CES. So unlike the Boombox 3, I sort of like the design on the Pulse 5. I just think that the logo should have been transparent to allow that RGB lights to pass through. That's just me. Tell me what you think. But going on to the back, we now have a carrying loop, so you can take it with you on the go. But the thing about it, the Pulse 5 is made out of acrylic, so it will scratch and crack much easier than other JBL speakers because it's not covered in fabric. Going on to the bottom, we now have RGB lights around the passive radiators, so the rubber is now clear, which allows the RGB lights to pass through, which looks honestly really cool. But I do have one problem on that, more on the later. Going on to the new speaker setup. Yeah, that's right, a new speaker setup. It now has a single tweeter into the upwards firing woofer and a single passive radiator down firing. This should mean much better bass response and instrument separation, because the Pulse 4 just had 1 woofer and 1 passive radiator that was, I think, 16 or 20 watts, as I believe. But now the Pulse 5, since it has a dedicated tweeter, it doesn't have to focus on the highs as much on the mid-range woofer, so it can focus more on the bass, because the Pulse 4 severely lacked in bass for its price. I hope that the Pulse 5 gets a really big sound upgrade. But the thing about it, it still has 1 passive radiator, but the Charge 5 and Flip 6 still have 2. So unless JBL does some kind of magic, or just have the passive radiator hit the table extra hard, it's going to sound noticeably worse than these other 2 speakers. I know that the Pulse 5 is meant for the best in the world live feature, but in my opinion, for $250 you can get the JBL Extreme 2. I'm not sure if you can see it right here, and it will totally mop the floor with that. So I think that the Pulse 5 should be priced as the same as the JBL Charge 5, which is $175.99, because you're going to get, I'm pretty sure, worse sound quality, but the best in class light feature. So that's just me. But the Pulse 5 will be also released during the summertime as the Boombox 3. Next up, we have the JBL Partybox Encore. The JBL Partybox Encore seems like a pretty cool speaker, like the JBL Partybox On The Go, but it's literally like half of the size of that thing. Going on to the speaker setup, it has 2 tweeters and 1 woofer. It is still stereo, it just doesn't have 2 woofers. That'll be rated at 100 watts, which is pretty powerful for that small speaker and more powerful than the Boombox 2. It has Bluetooth 5.1. It comes with 1 JBL wireless microphone, even though they advertise 2, well, in the picture. And it has a starting price of $400 exclusively at Sam's Club. So it will be kind of hard to justify that price and to get to. But wait, there is a Partybox Encore Essential, which has a downgraded battery life from 10 hours on the Partybox Encore to 6 hours. But with real world usage, you're probably going to get half of that time. You get a downgraded light feature and no microphone, but it will cost $299.97. Personally, I think the Encore should be priced at $250 and $200 for the Essential, because the form factor and the price doesn't match up with the JBL Partybox 110, which is a much bigger speaker and a all-around better package. So I think that they need to lower down that price, or else it's going to end up like the JBL Boombox, no, the JBL Partybox 200, canceled. Emotional, damn! Yeah, that's just me. So going on to the JBL Wind 3, it is basically a JBL Go 3, but it has a built-in SD card slot, aux input, and a FM radio that has a clip to mount onto your bike. That will be retailing for $79, which actually seems like a pretty cool bike accessory if you're into that. Overall, the Boombox 3 is my personal favorite speaker to look out for, because the Boombox 2 has a special place in my heart. 2 reasons. 1, it was my very first video that I covered on my channel about 1.5 years ago. 2, it is my most viewed video. It's doing around, what, 72,000 views the last time I checked. You can watch the video right here if you want to. As far as the Pulse 5, even though I think this speaker is overpriced, I want something different and I want to review it for y'all, because I only had charges in my lifetime. I wanted a JBL Pulse since the JBL Pulse 3, so like 5 years. As far as the JBL Partyboxes, like, unless something clicks or whatever, I don't plan on reviewing these speakers because they don't seem like they're going to perform that well. As far as the JBL Wind, it seems like a really good speaker for a cyclist, but I don't have a working bike right now. I mean, unless you want me to, you know, clamp that onto my forearm, cut off my blood flow, then I will review it. But hey, let me know. Mark and Levinson also announced some $1,000 active noise cancellation headphones, which is really steep, but I'm also interested because I heard they sound really good with a 40,000 hertz peak range, even though that the human can't hear over 20,000 kilohertz, but actually in my testing I heard over 20,000 kilohertz. And I wonder how it would do against the Sennheiser Momentum 3. That's why I had these here the entire time, if you was wondering, which cost what, like $300 or somewhere around that now. To wrap up this video, I know y'all been looking at these speakers like, yo, is he going to do it now? Don't worry, the Sony SRS XG500 versus the JBL Boombox 2 will be coming soon. It's actually doing the full review. So I won't hold your time any longer. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the Send It Tech Ninja. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.